וזהו עניין הנסירה בראש השנה בשביל בניין הנוקבה. And this is the concept of the cutting of Adam in order to build the feminine on Rosh Hashanah. Likach ach echad mitzelosav, the Ziranpin, to take one of the sides of Ziranpin, כמו שכתוב, ויפל תרדימה על האדם chulu, like it says that he placed a slumber upon man, ויקח chulu, when he took. שבחינס shein v'istalkus hamochim chulu, which is a concept of sleeping and the intellect going upwards, kedei livnos binyan hanokva, in order to build the feminine aspect, bepartzupif ne'atzma, that it should have its own countenance, shu'ik ranasira. And that's the main concept of this cutting, is to build the nukva, laham shi chasadim laham tika gvuros, to bring down kindnesses to sweeten the strictnesses. Bezeni nasir partzufa nukva, and with this it divides the partzuf of the nukva, v'nischalek lihios partzuf b'fnei atzma, and it's divided to be a partzuf on its own, Mash'en kin kodem hanasira, which is not the case before it was cut al yidei hamtakas hakvoros b'chasadim, by sweetening the strictnesses with the kindnesses. Harei haya kosel echad lishneihem, they had one wall for both of them, back to back, they were attached together. Like it's brought in Pri Etz Chaim. So you draw down the gvuros, and then you have the hamtakas hakvoros, and that's the nesira of the nokva. And to explain this, now this concept of this one wall that both of them had, that the strictnesses of both the giver and the receiver were one. So the gvura that was in Zah was both for the Zir Anpin and for the Nukva that was there on that level. We can preface by the concept that's known in the source of the essence of the building of Malchus, parts of Leah and Rachel, which is the concept of the strictnesses, the concept of the returning light that goes back to its source. So in order to have the necessary, the oros have to go upwards. The mocha need to be nistalik, just like the fire, that its nature is to go up and be removed. So to the light and life of this divine light, that comes down to be finite, to be within boundary. So teva mehusa, or so the nature of the light, and this life force, to go up and go out of its descent below, to be elevated above into Atzilus, and the source where it was carved out of. And this in the Zohar is called a blue flame, like the light that's of the candle that's actually holds on to the wick, so that you have the different lights. You have the Nehora Tichla and the Nehora Chivra. So the Nehora Chivra is on top, the white light is on top, and the Nehora Tichla is on the bottom, attached to the wick. She'olo Mistalek, and that it goes upwards and it wants to be removed from the wick. It's a concept of the reflected light of Malchus. So too it is with the concept of revealing the lights of the emotional attributes of Atzilus, that they are also in their natural, they have the natural state of returning, of wanting to go upwards back to the essence. That's what the lights want to do. Because the concept of revelation of the attribute like love, that's revealed by the breath that comes out of the heart. So this, after it's breathed out, I guess, so the breath returns backwards into the emotion, back into the emotion within the heart. Just like the breath that's within the mouth in speech goes back to its source after you speak. So the breath is extends itself and then goes backwards after it's done. So too, as from the heart, after its extension, it returns back to its source. So it's understood at any rate that the giver of the flow, which are the emotional attributes of Zah, is the concept of strictnesses. So to the Malchus, which is the source for all the receivers, and is in a concept of strength. And that's the concept of a returning light, is the Gvura. So the divine flow is like Chesed, but when it returns upwards, so that's like a Gvura. That's a strength and a strictness that it comes backwards and does not give flow. So V'hainu Inyan Kosel Echad L'Shneihen. So this is the concept. This Or Choser is this concept of this one wall that both of them had. That both of them have this returning light, not to extend and give flow. Now, if you want to have that, now that means to say that the Kosel Echad L'Shneim represents this idea of Gvura, that you have the Histalkus of Zah and Nukva, and you need to rebuild the Nukva and draw down the Zah, and you have to have Amtakas, Hagvuros, you have to sweeten this Gvura of this going upwards and bring it back down. To also have and draw down the kindnesses below, because the main flow of into the world is a concept of kindness. Like it says, that I said, the world will be built with kindness in order to awaken the spirit of the lowly, the biyah of B'yitzir Nesya. You have to draw it down through kindnesses. Shiur that's compared to water that comes from a high place to a low place, as is known. Inyan Hanasira. And that's the concept of this cutting, of sweetening the strictnesses, the nukva of the feminine aspect, that it should be built as a countenance built out of kindnesses, sweetened by kindnesses on its own. And should not just be included within the strictnesses of Ziranpin, but should come out and give hashpa downwards. Because that whole concept of Gvuros, to go upwards, is the opposite of the main concept of the source of the gradation of the gradation process of creation. From the essence of the emanator, ki chafetz chesed hu, because he desires kindness. Because the Holy One, blessed be He, desired to have a dwelling place in this lowest world, through fulfilling Torah and mitzvos, and you cannot do that with histalkus l'mayla, of everything just going upwards back to its source, but you have to bring it out through the and downward by the hamtakas hagvuras bechasadim of the nesira and binyan malchus. V'kemoshe kasu b'makom acher binyan hasebi naichulu shehem hir hivuni chulu v'dal, like it's brought in another place on the pasuk in Shir Shirim concerning the idea of turn your eyes away from me, because they have awakened my desire.